plumberparts.co.uk. Honest reviews and advice.
Hold tight and welcome to today's plumberparts.co.uk video. My name is James and today we're going to be having a look at a very simple problem you can get with your toilet, especially if it's a push button one, like the little one we've got in the background here. What can happen is sometimes you can press the push button flush on your toilet. It can be one of those nice little remote push button flushes, or ones that are just on top of the cistern that look a little bit like this one here. And then once you've pressed it, everything comes out the cistern, but then it just keeps on trickling in. Now we're going to show you very quickly how one of these work using our lovely little fake cistern we've got in the background here. And then we're also going to show you how very quickly to fix this problem because it's so easy to fix. Alright, I hope you enjoy the video and remember to subscribe. Hold tight! So let's firstly have a quick look at the flush unit we've got here itself. A closer look at these, they're really easy to install in the first place. They've got a nice little rubber seal underneath and then a big nut that goes up underneath the cistern that holds that on and makes the watertight seal. You can also have, and a lot of these have adjustments for how much you want to flush, how much you want to go through. The other slight difference you can have with two different types of push button flush unit are you can have the fixed button one like here, so you've got your half flush and your full flush. And you'll have two little rods that go down onto the button from the cistern cap, and they can go on there, or the cistern lid. Or you can have one that has a remote cable that goes off to a button elsewhere, like on a bit of woodwork or something like that. They're really popular as well because they're so versatile. So if we look here, when we push this up, you'll see there that that little paddle lifts up like so, and lifts up like so as well on both those buttons. Now you have different heights of float here that when the water gets down to a certain level, that'll activate the float and also close the flush, okay? Now the thing is, sometimes the main problem you can actually have is that the water flow going into the cistern is so high and so fast that the water level never really gets down far enough to actually allow the float to activate and shut the valve off. And it kind of holds the valve up like so, just like that. So the first thing I'd do is pop the lid off, press the button and have a look and actually see whether the amount of water going into the cistern from the fill valve is so much that it's not actually allowing it to fully empty. It's kind of beating the water going into the toilet and flushing away. So have a look at that first. If that is the case, you'll see a small pipe underneath, just like this one here, and it'll have a small valve on it like so. You've got a cross on the valve just here. At the moment that's in the off position. If that is in the inline position like so, it's fully open as you can just see there. So what you often want to do is basically half close it and try and strangle down the amount of water going into the toilet cistern. That is usually the problem, and that's the quickest way of sorting it out. So easy to do. The other thing you can do with these to see if there's a problem is sometimes you can actually pull off this top flush piece just like so, like that. This bit will stay in the toilet and this is where all the water comes out of. We don't need that for this bit now. I'm just going to pop that down. We're interested in this piece here, okay? This is the damper that moves up and down. Now, as you can see on the bottom there, we've got a nice little rubber seal. And what can happen is the rubber can get old. Sometimes it can actually sort of mould itself in the up position and doesn't actually quite seal properly. You can buy rubber seal replacements for these in most of the plumbing supplies in the UK. They're really easy just to pull off and pop another one on, and often that will sort your problem out. The other problem you can have is, we put this back together and we take a close look here, we can see that this has to sit down on this seat. If anything gets stuck under this seat, a little bit of lime scale, sometimes people put the smelly tablets and that go in the cistern, that can get stuck under there. So, you know, it might be a good idea to just stick your hand in there. The water is not dirty, it is only like fresh water. It's not got any wee-wees or poo-poos in it, so you don't have to worry. And basically run your finger around there and make sure that that's nice and clean, there's no nicks in the plastic. And often if you do that, you see something maybe flow into the toilet and then that will seal up properly and work fine. But anyway, we're going to have a quick look at how these work, and we're going to fill up our massive bucket with water and flush loads of water out into the bucket. Enjoy! So anyway, let's fit this beast in here now. Real simple. We've got that on there. We've got a hole in here. We did a video a few weeks ago about how siphon units work, and we use this box here. I'll leave a link to that just about now on the screen, so you can click on that and have a look if that's going to help you out. Remember to subscribe. God, how many times do I have to say it? You know, hopefully we're going to help you out here. So right now, we've got this nice and full of water here. Should just be able to press this. Oh yeah, got nothing wet. You see how quickly that cuts off that one there? And then we can set up our half flush as well. And as you can see, it's a lot quicker. You can alter these flushes using those scales on the side. And obviously now, I could just probably put my hand in here and act as if there was a bit of something caught under the seat of this little flap here. and make it so it sort of half starts to leak, you know. Basically, just imagine there's a little bit stuck under there. What would happen, you just start getting that to start running and running and running, okay? As I said, you can change that rubber washer really easily just by pulling the top out. What will happen is you turn the water off, you pull the top out, and the whole of this cistern will empty into our toilet. You watch this. I'm going to get out this one. There we go. You've got that out of here. Okay, it's gone down the toilet. No big deal. Everything's fine. But we can still change this bit here at our leisure. So if we look closely, if we've got too much water going into this cistern here, it's not going to allow us to activate this float that we've got here on our half flush. And if we twist around and have a look at the other side, further down you'll see there's the float there for our full flush, okay? So that's the main problem. So when we press our button, you'll see now when we press the button for half flush, you'll see how this actually reacts as water leaves the cistern. Did you see that? As soon as that dropped there, allowed our plunger to actually make a seal. The other thing that can cause one of these to actually run into the toilet is if you've actually got your ball valve set too high. That means that, say, a ball valve like this is set so high that when it shuts off in the cistern, it's actually letting water go into this integral overflow. Now what these do, these are brilliant. They basically eradicate the need for you to have an overflow pipe that sticks outside and may drip. And what can happen is if one of these fails, instead of flooding all over the floor, it can go down this pipe here and into the toilet, warning you that there's a problem. So that's the great thing as well. That's the last real reason that could be why these constantly run. Sometimes, of course, the actual flush unit just can be knackered. I mean, it could be the fact that one of the floats has ruptured, got old or brittle and released its air and isn't actually shutting off the damper anymore at the bottom. Or it could be that the bottom piece that's attached to the toilet that the rubber actually sits on is so knackered and gnashed up that it's never going to work again. But it's quite a rare case, and really 99% of the time you should just be able to effect a quick repair like the ones we've shown you there. Obviously, if you've got a problem with a fill valve, we've got loads of videos on how fill valves work in toilets. Just check out our toilet playlist that's appearing in the corner right now. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and I hope you subscribe. We do loads of stuff on Twitter and Facebook, so please follow us at either of those places there. We've got lots of pictures of plumbing disasters. Also, if you've got any questions or you've seen something that's really unusual in the world of plumbing, you can send us a picture or even send us a video using your mobile to our Facebook page. It might make it onto one of our Ask the Plumber videos. We're also going to show you a playlist to that coming up right now. Anyway, again, I hope you subscribe, and I'll see you in our next video. Remember, everyone, to hold tight.
plumberparts.co.uk. Honest reviews and advice.